If you're looking for player prop recommendations backed by AI, then you're in the right place. Welcome, everybody. We've got Thursday night football between the Vikings and the Rams. Let's take a look at our data-driven picks for this game, starting with John. What's your best bet for this one, man?
Yeah, man, I like this bet more than Andy Reid likes his cheeseburgers, man. I got Justin Jefferson over 82 and a half reception yards. He's had 81 or more yards in the last 5 of 5. And the Rams are 27th in yards per attempt allowed, dead last in yards per completion. I expect lots of long completions for Jefferson in this one, long and early. So maybe even look at that first half receiving yards over if you want to get real spicy. But I think this is pretty simple. It's an easy bet. He's the best receiver in the league against a cupcake matchup. Sorry, Tyler. I apologize.
Okay.
But I love this. It's got a 99.99 EP score for a reason. What do you guys think?
Yeah, man, I 100% agree. Like you said, he's the best receiver in the league. He's going to keep getting it done. Sam Darnold's going to keep targeting him, and he's going to make it do what it do, especially against the Rams. Sorry, Tyler.
All good. No, I totally agree. If the Vikings come out and they're scoring touchdowns and they're running up and down the field, Justin Jefferson is probably going to be the beneficiary of that. So totally understand this pick. And if the Rams have any shot of winning this game, they're going to need to stop Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Peter, what you like?
Man, look, man, this pick going to hit like a Michael Jackson father figure. Matthew Stafford over 22.5 completions, man. Look, man, the things Jared Goff did to that Minnesota secondary last week, man, it's not going to get no better. Minnesota passing defense ranked 30th in the league. Matthew Stafford's going to have a hell of a game. I know he said it's a cupcake performance, a cupcake a game team that they're going to be going against, but Matthew Stafford has seemed to be getting it done. He is going to get it done. Bounce back game. I'm 100% sure Stafford is going to hit this line. Come the early fourth quarter, the Minnesota defense is terrible. Got so many hoes, like a Las Vegas Strip. How y'all feel about this, man?
It's so funny. Minnesota's defense is kind of an enigma, right? Because I think they're like the number 1 or number 2 fantasy defense. Like they're really crazy up there. But their passing defense lets up tons of yards, and I think that's just because they've been up in these games, and so teams have gotten tons and tons of garbage time stuff against them. But hey, I'm not want to call Matt Stafford the garbage time king. He might be number 2 to Jameis Winston, but he'll get this completion number for sure. I have this bet in a parlay too. I was trying to decide between completions and attempts, and I think this is the kind of game like the Vikings let up the most completions to opposing quarterbacks. It's their number 32. So this is what I went with, and I totally agree with you on this for sure.
I like it as well. This offense has primarily been Kyren Williams in every aspect, scoring, moving the ball down the field, but the Rams are starting to get healthy. So I think you might see a turn Thursday night where you're going to see Stafford get back into that, I don't want to say Super Bowl mode, but into that Pro Bowl, all-pro mode where he's chucking the ball all over the field. So really like this.
Awesome. What you got for us, Tyler?
So, yeah, I'm going to take advantage of Cooper Kupp coming back in this matchup by going with Tutu Atwell over 37.5 receiving yards. This line is just way too low, and I think this is the perfect opportunity to take advantage of it with Cooper Kupp coming back. Tutu Atwell leads all Rams receivers in receiving yards, targets, and receptions this season. He's averaging 55 receiving yards per game, which is well over this prop line. Now, as we've mentioned, Kupp is coming back from injury, but I think this is just going to open up more mismatches and more opportunities for Tutu against the defense that's allowed the 3rd most receiving yards per reception in the NFL. Now, looking at the Elite Picks app, this prop has a 100% hit rate in the last 5 games. Just look at all of that green on Atwell's chart. That's what we absolutely love to see as overbettors. So, guys, give me Tutu Atwell's receiving over in a match where the Rams are going to have to chuck the rock if they want to win this game. Talk to me. Let me know your guys' thoughts.
Man, all I got to say is toot. He going to definitely hit that, man. Man. I 100%
I had to
agree.
pull it up. Look at
that. Had to, man. Look at that, bro.
That's a lot.
Quick with it, man. That line is too low. Like you said, Cooper's Kupp coming back is only going to create more matchup problems and mismatches for Tutu. And Tutu going to make it do what it do.
I love it, man. So, do you guys do that in the stadium when he catches a pass? Like, is that a thing where everyone goes toot, or is that just something you're
I
making
have
up,
not caught
Tyler?
on yet.
I don't think the opposing crowd does, since it's mostly opposing crowds that are home at these Rams games. But
It's worse at
from
Chargers
my
games.
from my knowledge, I'm going to take this back to '99 without getting too far in the weeds here. When Isaac Bruce played for the Rams, the crowd would yell Bruce.
Ooh.
Yeah.
When Cooper Kupp became a Ram, they started yelling Coop.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, to be honest with you, I haven't been to the new stadium yet. I did go to the Coliseum, but I expect that they probably do give tutu shouts based off of the history of that sort of chant with wide receivers with the Rams.
Got to. You'll be
Yeah.
right.
I got to experience the first round of coops for Amari Cooper in the Bills offense this past weekend at home. So that was pretty cool. So I love it.
Yeah, I mean, Coleman was just telling him where to run, and he was like, okay.
Oh, man. It's
God,
such a good game to
absolutely
be
love
at.
it.
It was great. It was great.
Awesome. All right. Now let's move on to what teams we are betting on for Thursday Night Football between the Rams and the Vikings. Starting with John, what side do you like?
Tyler, please don't get mad at me, man, but I might be putting 2.5 units on Minnesota -3 here. I think that this line should be more like 5 or 6. In my personal opinion, Minnesota, obviously they had their first loss of the season against Detroit last week, but they're a very well-rounded football team, minus the pass defense, which is giving up a lot of yards here. But I just think that Minnesota's offense matches up too well against the Rams' defense. Again, those stats that I mentioned earlier, that they're 27th in pass yards allowed, or yards per attempt allowed, and dead last in yards per completion. I don't think that sets up well when you're trying to go up against a guy like Justin Jefferson and a very competent, second piece in Jordan Addison as well. So I think both those guys are probably going to eat, and I like Minnesota to win this game by at least a touchdown probably. But B-Dot, what do you think?
Yeah, man, I'm going with the Hulk Hogan logo. Vikings also. Yeah,
it does look like him. It really does look like him.
It do. Yeah, man. Look, man, come on now. I mean, man. Yeah, come on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ty. The line should be higher. I think Minnesota actually wins by a couple of touchdowns, and yeah, I think the Minnesota Vikings would be just too much for the Los Angeles Rams, even with Cooper coming back. Cooper's not going to save you guys. I'm sorry, but it will help Matt hit that completion that I insisted earlier for the best bet.
I love it.
So where you going, Ty? I'm feeling that you're gonna. Come on, man. Come to the good side.
Tyler, are you gonna go with Scandinavian Hulk Hogan, or what you thinking?
Whose house? Rams house. We're fading the public. We're fading you guys. We are fading everybody. Give me the Rams +3 at home. I absolutely love this play tonight, not just because I'm a fan, but because I think that they're going to have a big game. Now, looking at the Rams this year, their record doesn't necessarily reflect how competitive they've been this season. They've lost 4 games, but 3 of them have been by 1 score against playoff caliber teams like the Lions, Packers, and Bears. So they've played teams that are good relatively close this season. So I think that's why you see this number at only 3 instead of maybe 5.5, as you were alluding to, John. Also, obviously the big news, Cooper Kupp is going to be back for this Thursday night game, but the Rams starting offensive lineman Joe Noteboom will also be active. So I think this is going to massively improve the passing game that's been pretty brutal in previous weeks. Now, I obviously had mentioned Kupp and in terms of him being healthy this week, but he's also had trade rumors going around the past 2 or 3 days, as well as Stafford. So in terms of this game, I think the outcome is going to have massive implications on the remainder of the Rams season. We could potentially see Kupp and Stafford not on this team following this Thursday night game if the Rams do not pull off the upset. And if you look at the Rams and in terms of sort of where their season is and their chances of maybe making the playoffs, if they're to pull off this upset, they're only 1 game back behind the Seahawks from leading the NFC West. And who do they happen to play next week? The Seahawks. So as much as the media and everybody else thinks that this team is done, the NFC West is pretty wide open, and 1 upset can really turn this thing around, especially when you have Puka Nacua pretty much coming off of IRR, and he should be back next week. But I don't want to look too far ahead. The Rams are going to have to play their best game of the season if they want to win this game. But I have the Rams cutting this close. I have them losing by less than 3. But the fan in me thinks that they're going to come out and they're going to punch the Vikings right in the suck hole, and they're going to come out with a W. Talk to me, guys. What do you think? Should I be selling infomercials?
In a word, yes. No, I think that there's a path to victory for LA for sure. Again, Kupp coming back, he's gonna have to be right back on schedule, right? He's gonna have to have a classic Cooper Kupp game, 10 receptions kind of game probably for this offense to do what it needs to do without Puka Nacua, at least for this week. But yeah, if you guys win this game, you could be en route to NFC wild card, or even that division, which is wide open, with the Niners having a losing record there, Arizona not doing anything special, and the Seahawks will be coming off a loss against Buffalo, which will be happening this coming Sunday. So hopefully I'm not jinxing myself there, but just trying to look at the bright side. But yeah, I guess we'll see how it plays out. At least we're not the same across the board, and yeah, I like it.
Yeah, this has got Vegas trap game written all over it, folks. It's got Vegas trap game. As you guys said, this line, it looks too good to be true, and I think it might be. So I probably won't wear any Rams gear again if they come up short, but it was really fun being able to talk about this Thursday night game with you guys.